No man can match the strength and power of the beasts of the forest, but a simple boy can take one down with cunning and strategy. Welcome, everyone. My name is Ryan, and we are back with more Unreal World. This is the Runaway series with our character Thor and his list of skills. As we can see, we've even leveled up our stealth a little bit in the first couple of episodes, and we managed to kill a giant elk, a bull elk here, believe it or not, with nothing more than a knife and some endurance. But if you missed the first two episodes, I've got a link to the playlist down in the description, so check that out, get all caught up, and they are uploaded early with ad-free access on my Patreon, so check that out. The link is down below. $2 a month gets you full access. But let's take care of this big beast we've got. Of course, now that the hunting is over, we've got the challenge of preserving everything, including the skin. We don't want that to go to waste, nor do I want any of the meat, but if I had to choose, I'd let like 100 pounds of meat or so go bad instead of the fur, but we're going to try to avoid it. The reason I mention it is because we are in the height of summer. You know, it is summer season, so if it was colder out, it wouldn't be such a big deal, but in just a couple of days, this corpse is going to start to turn, so first things first, let's get a little fire prepared. I am just going to chop down this tree, small tree. We want it actually right next to us, so I'm going to go ahead and move all three of these right next to the carcass. All right, now I'm going to drop 3 of the branches. That's like the minimum tinder we need to start a fire, and I'm just going to light it up. We are cold, so this will help that, obviously, but we need to cook a little bit of meat, too. Now, we are starving. It's not become life-threatening yet, but in a couple weeks it would, not days, a couple weeks we would die of starvation. But luckily, we don't have to worry about that at this moment. So what we are going to do is go ahead and skin it first. We are hungry, but we can't just dive in and start eating. We want this hide, so let's go ahead and use our knife. There we go. It's a 3-hour and 20-minute process. Boom. And we have skinned it. We have a ragged elk skin. That's unfortunate. The quality is not good, but that's more due to our low skill level, I think. During the killing process, I did slit its throat to, kill it quicker, but I don't think that did too much damage. It's just that we're a novice at hide working, unfortunately. Hey, nonetheless, we can still clothe ourselves now, hopefully, and maybe even trade away some of the stuff we make with it. But now the big part, the meat. So I'm going to hit B to butcher. It's so important to skin the animal first. If I butchered first, the skin would be ruined. So let's do that. All right, great. We did everything in one big, quick, hour-long activity. Now there's tendons. That's new to me, so connective tissue that attaches tendons, butchered animals used in making sinew yarn. Oh, very nice. So this is new, but I suspect it's, since it's calling it yarn, this is going to be essential for some of the textile crafts, which are new to the game. So I'm excited to get into that. In other words, we'll probably save this for, making textiles as opposed to just smoking or drying meats with it, which is why I've collected some other cordage back at home. But the bones and the antlers are probably going to stay. I will go ahead and grab the tendons because that only weighs 1.5 pounds. There we go. Now I think the meat, we've got 200 elk cuts now in our pocket. We are way overloaded. No, actually that's not true. I can still move, believe it or not. I think it's simply just because our buddy here is such a big strapping guy. Yeah, he weighs 235 pounds. He's got strength and endurance just off the charts. So our man Thor really does live up to his mythological name. So he's carrying basically the entire, meat from a bull elk here, which is great. Let's actually see. Can we just pick that up? Yeah, he's able to pick all of it up, so we might as well grab it. Might have some value for trading too, but let's cook. Let's reward our buddy here with a little bit of meat. We'll just do 10. It's going to be the maximum. So that's on the ground. Now, I would love to grab a drink. Yeah, there's a little pond right over here. All right, I'm going to go into stealth, as I mentioned previously, I like to just travel like that for practice sake. No, I'm not going to step in, but we will take a drink. Okay. Very good, very good. Now, the hard part is going to be getting home in time for this stuff not to rot, but if you're experienced with the game, you'll know that you can only dry meats during the colder months. We're in the height of summer, which means we're going to have to smoke the meat. That makes sense if you think about it. You know, you can't just dry meat out in the hot, humid summer. But in winter, you know, the air is very dry and cold, so it's easier. No insects or anything like that, too, is an added benefit. But what we can do is take this meat to one of the NPCs. Question is, can we get there? That's going to be the hard part. So I think what we'll do, that's the slaver's camp. This is my camp. There's a bit of cordage here I'd like to grab, but it's in the opposite direction, which means we have to go there and then backtrack a bit and go up here. I think we're just going to make a beeline east. Hope we find a village. We might even just trade away some of the raw meat. We'll see. Let's make that our primary goal right now, is to travel to the Gray culture, which is the Quika tribe. They're friendly, and they will trade with us, hopefully, if we can make it there before the meat rots, that is. The good news, that roasted meat tasted beautiful, and our character is no longer starving. Thor is now just insufficient on his nutrient intake, but this will of course go up as we eat more, and he is hungry again. He's going to be ravenous multiple times a day until we kind of stabilize his diet. So we'll eat again. And he is extremely tired. Just traveling is making him tired here on the overmap. It's just late morning. I'd like to wait. Obviously, I want to make as much progress as we can. And sleeping, of course, means every moment we're unconscious, the meat is going to start to go bad too. That much quicker. Let's just see. Yeah, we're not super far, so we did get lucky and start fairly close. Okay, now we have basically fallen to the ground because we're super tired, so we basically have to sleep. Alright, so it is late night. We've woken up. Let's take a look. Alright, the elk cuts are still okay. They haven't started to go bad. The skin isn't rotten yet. We still have 7 roasted cuts, so let's go ahead and eat. A couple of pieces. And we're back on the move, so we're heading east. I might want to stop and get some water, but, you know, if we can hold out, that'd be great. Now, we are officially in the Quaker tribe's cultural boundaries, but we don't know where the village is yet. There has to be some, that's why the boundaries exist, and if we were to, for instance, wipe out one of the villages, the boundaries would recede, you know, once all the people are eliminated, but that's just a side note. Yeah, don't ask me how I know that, but I do have more warlike playthroughs that I've done in the past. Either way, it's kind of assured as we go like farther into the interior here, we'll stumble across one. It's just, how soon is that going to be? Will it be in time for a meet? Okay, we're recovering from starvation. I'm going to go ahead and pop in because we're close to water. We can just take a drink. No eating. I'm going to force him not to eat right now and just travel a bit. I don't see anything. I'm trying to find a good position where we have better view, like a hilltop or mountain would be wonderful right now. Wow, visibility is very poor in this region. Yeah, there must be a village nearby. This is what I was worried about. We would get here and the meat would go bad in my pocket, but we've still got some time. Wow, where are they? There's very flat land. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, good visibility. Okay, no villages in the vicinity, sadly. Let's move farther in. I bet you there are some near the border, but I feel like we've got to run into some. Oh, wow. Let's go ahead and eat a little bit. Still early morning, but it's a race against time right now. Oh. As you explore the wilderness, a settlement comes into view up ahead. There it is, right there. Perfect. Okay. We're going to rush to that point And, oh, there's a bear. Oh, we have entered. Here it is. Now, hello, let's greet the folks of the village. I can go ahead and zoom in a bit because we're not really hunting. Yep, there's a person in front of me. Let's talk to him. You know, you got to get on the good terms with these villagers and stuff. It does make a difference. They'll start to offer you quests and stuff. It's great. There's a lot to be done with the villagers. And also, you can earn a bad reputation if you try and steal stuff, things like that. So let's greet the man. We'll introduce ourselves and ask how he's doing. His name is Samuel, and he mustn't grumble. That's how he's doing. If there was a quest, he would tell me right away. Anybody you talk to will tell you about quest givers, so we can just introduce ourselves, but we've got more pressing business. I'm going to zoom out, actually, while I look for their buildings. So what I'm trying to find is a structure with a fire. I don't care if it's a tent or a building. Looks like they're living in kotas, or these are tents. Sometimes they will have fires burning in the middle, but not all the time. Yeah, that one doesn't. Dang it. This might not be a village we can smoke our meat in, actually. Wow. All that time it took to get here, and it might be for nothing. Because what we need is a fire. That will be a fire that the NPCs will tend for us, but these people literally don't have any fires going. So the meat cannot be processed here. I've still got to get some cordage, and I've got to worry about the skin. What I'm tempted to do is go ahead and process the skin here, because there's a little water source. I mean, theoretically, I could do this anywhere, but I'll mark this one. No, don't step into it. Yeah, this way we know the skin will be set, you know, and as we travel, the meat might go bad, but we'll eat some as we travel, and we'll look for a place to smoke it. But I can mark this village and come back here, you know, in a day and see the skin and process it further. So let's do that. I might actually set it up to turn into leather too. I'll go through that, and then when we're done, we'll get back out and look for another village with a proper fire pit. All right, we shake out the leaves once again and enter a friendly settlement. This time, let's hope there's a fire. Oh, our elk has started to go stale. I actually tried to trade some of it away at the last village for like an axe, but they wouldn't have it at this point. So we do need to prioritize at least cooking some more of it for ourselves. But if I can... Oh, there's a house here. I get the feeling it's not going to have a fire in it. It's too small. Dang it. See, this tribe, this culture, they're not super wealthy. Yeah, they have very little in the way of buildings and stuff. There is another village on the map. 2 more, in fact. I discovered a couple more. But the more overworld travel we do, yeah, the more likely this whole pile of meat is just going to rot. I think what I'm going to do real fast, see if we can come to the edge of their forest here. I don't want to disturb them by like taking trees or starting fires on their property, because they won't like that. But let's move a little bit in. Okay, perfect. Here's a piece of wood. I'll zoom in a bit. So I just want to get a bunch of this roasted. It's not going to preserve it for long, but at least we won't immediately start starving again. So we'll drop that. I will go ahead and light this up. Here we go. We're chilly and ready to drop. But come on. All right, let's cook roast some of the stale. I'm going to repeat that basically until we pass out. Just hope that... I can't pick anything up yet. Nothing burns. I have a feeling it's going to be spoiled by the time we wake up. Oh, come on. Alright, we've picked up the first bit. Let's repeat. I managed to cook up, yeah, several dozen pieces. There we go. So I'm just repeating the process, doing 10 at a time. And we're just super tired, but okay, that's beautiful. Let's look at how much we've got at this point. So we've managed to get 32 roasted, 10 of that, well, 2 of that is from our first batch of 10. We've got 130 stale left. I'm just going to continue to try and roast it until we pass out, 10 at a time. There is a risk that the stuff that's at my feet cooking could burn if I fall asleep, but I mean, at this point, we just want to get as much of this roasted as possible. I'm not even eating. We were very hungry. We're just sitting here cooking, looking at all this food, not eating a bit of it. Oh, it's a race against time. Maybe at the next village, I'll try and trade away some of this cooked meat. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Because they wouldn't want it when it was stale and uncooked, but with a little bit of roast on it, it might appeal to them a bit more. Wow. I'm actually able to get all of this roasted. Almost. Let's see. I wasn't expecting to do this. I was really hoping to smoke it, but maybe we'll have a better luck. Yeah, with some food in our belly, we can scout out the villages. Maybe we'll find like the capital. And I'm serious, there could be one or two like rich villages right in the center of this culture, which will have like a structure with a fire pit going. And then what we could do is just start to hunt around that location. You know, there's nothing wrong with hunting within their own cultural boundaries. They won't get upset about that as long as we're not directly in one of the villages, I think. So let's continue to cook up the stale meat. It's almost done. That's our last batch. Wow. I didn't expect to get that much, but whew, we're going to pick it all up. And I think it's time for a well-deserved rest. It's early evening. We're just laying on the ground next to our fire. I will see you guys bright and early in the morning. After searching a couple of villages, I have found one with a really nice bow. I don't know if they're going to accept our awful roasted elk cuts, but there's only one way to find out. So let's put the bow, some arrows, and I even put a little bit of yarn up on the trading block. I'm just going to offer him the whole pile, see what he says. Nope, it's not the quality he expects. Darn it. Well, that means we don't have too much in the way of leverage to trade, unfortunately. I was a little worried that would happen, but it is to be expected too. We're a 16-year-old running around. We got lucky and killed a huge animal. Managed to cook the meat before it spoiled, but no shocker there. It's not the best tasting stuff, although it will prevent us from starving. And I don't know, maybe I could actually get like them to trade something, some of that yarn maybe by itself, but what I might do instead is look for one of these strong, strapping fellows and see if I can hire one. That could help us on our next hunt. But either way, we know that we haven't, died yet. We've overcome our starvation, at least for a little bit. So, yeah, if I take a look at this guy, he's actually got a northern bow, some arrows on him. Let's talk to this person. We'll introduce ourselves, see if they want to join us. Hello. Greet him, ask him how's it's going. Let's see if he wants to ask help to the company. Do you want to go on a longish adventure? I'd like to hire a helping hand. That's the one I want. Yes, that's fine with me. I can come working for you. Just be prepared to reward me, and afterwards we'll have to reward him. But now we have to give him some food too, is what he's asking. So, what do you think of this, buddy? I don't think he's going to care about the quality, just the quantity. Yep. So he agrees. He said he will work for us, and he will now follow us too, so he's coming along. I should probably think about hiring a couple more while I'm here with this amount of meat, but at this point I don't have a whole lot for them to do. The more I hire, the more chance one of them will get injured, and then they'll never come and work for me again. Nobody at this village will come with me if I get one of their people killed, or if I even refuse to pay them too. So let's keep things kind of small, and we'll just go on a little two-man hike. But look at this. We have a couple of spots, so thinking about marking some of these buildings. None of them sell animals yet, which is typically what I would mark a village for, is if they're selling animals or anything interesting like some masterwork stuff. But I should also be asking about blacksmiths too. That's something I neglected. So let's keep popping into these unknown villages. For the moment, we'll just introduce ourselves. Happen to see if there's a quest giver or anything. Nope. Let's ask about the blacksmith. No, but you can find one in the southeast from here, just a couple miles. It's probably one of the villages we already went to. So, yeah, I should have asked, but that's okay. And one final thing. Whoops, let me go back into that. Do you have animals? No, they don't sell animals. So, we'll just push on. I want to see if they have a fire burning, though. Some of these big kota or tent structures. Yeah, this one has a has a fire in the center of it. It's hard to see, but I don't think the others did. Pretty sure not all of them will. But that's good because that fire will be kind of kept burning by the NPCs. Yeah, there's a fire here too. All right, maybe I might have missed the other ones, but ultimately we didn't lose any food yet. Although it won't last forever like this. What we're going to do is just go ahead and mark this place as having a fire. So we'll say fire pit. And yeah, I think that's good. We can go ahead and do a little hunting in this area. So let's leave the village. We'll find a nice open spot, maybe to set up a camp and hunt in this location. And then we'll see if we can get another big kill. More good news and bad news. I did get a shelter built, but we have lost the elk tendons, and it looks like the fat is going stale too. We still have 172 roasted pieces. I'm going to drop these in our new fire pit. Here we are at our latest camp. We're still in the Kueka tribe's cultural boundaries, but this took me a couple of tries to make because we were so exhausted and it kept raining. I got it though, so let's go ahead and mark it. Here we said we wanted to make them white for camp, so we'll add the note. This will just be camp 2. That's fine, don't have to get too descriptive with that. There we are, and of course if we zoom out a little bit, this is where we started at that location. We made the camp to the south, which we'll probably return to. The hunting grounds are good down here, and it's definitely more centralized, for the others. We can come over here. Actually, the best culture to train with is down in this direction to the south, too. So we might move farther down there eventually in future episodes. But for right now, we are set up pretty good here at this little camp. We're vigorous. It's afternoon. We got plenty of light. And our buddy here is going to be with us for a couple more days. So what we're going to do is kind of strip down. In other words, I'm going to drop everything that's not necessary. We'll keep it here and potentially trade it or use it later. Now, I'm going to go ahead and drop about 100 pounds of the meat. It'll probably spoil by the time we get back, but hopefully we will return with a kill of our own. And maybe this guy will be there to help us. Maybe he won't. Maybe we'll be carrying his bow around instead. But I don't know. Anything could happen out here in the unreal world. Sometimes we stumble upon bears who just, attack us out of nowhere. But regardless, we're going to save all that fun and excitement for the next episode, everybody. So make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. I will be uploading episodes for this every other day. And if you enjoyed it, I hope you'll drop me a comment and let me know. And as always, guys, I will see you on the next one.